Before the release of Halo Combat Evolved, there was a game that was originally announced for the Mac and the PC as an RTS real-time strategy game. The game's development time was from around 1998 to the release of Halo Combat Evolved, originating as a myth-style strategy game before turning into the popular game we all know today, and finally being retooled as a first-person shooter for the Xbox. As the game evolved, several vehicles and weapons were cut and others had completely overhauled from the game. And so in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the beta of Halo Combat Evolved. On July 21st, 1999, during the Macworld Conference and Expo, Steve Jobs took the stage and made a surprising announcement that Halo would be released for the Mac OS and Windows simultaneously. Now, prior to this, during E3 1999, several journalists previewed the game under a non-disclosure agreement, and it is said they were amazed. Bungie Studios later stated in an even earlier development build of the game centered on real-time strategy and was basically myth in a sci-fi universe. At E3 2000, the first trailer of Halo debuted and was well received by the public. The version shown, however, was a much different iteration of the game that was originally shown to those lucky journalists back in 1999. The game was now a third-person action game, in which a transport starship crash lands on a mysterious ring world that orbits a star. Early versions of the Covenant aliens appearing in great numbers and loot what they can, and war erupts between them and the humans. Now, unable to match the technological advances of the alien race, the humans on the ring would resort to guerrilla warfare. Now, this version of the game featured Halo-specific fauna, which were later dropped because of the design difficulties and the creatures, detractions from the surprise, drama, and impact of the flood. Now, on June 19, 2000, Microsoft confirmed speculations that it had acquired Bungie Studios. From there on, Halo became an exclusive game for Microsoft's Xbox video game console, and Bungie Studios rewrote the game's engine, heavily altering its presentation and turning it into a first-person shooter. Originally a key element, the game's online multiplayer capabilities was dropped because Xbox Live was incomplete. While the playable demonstration of the game at GameStop 2001 was well received, critics had mixed reactions to its exhibit at E3 2001. In 2007, the studio recorded a playthrough of the game and revealed additional things from its development and differences from the beta version. The silent cartographer was once about murdering a prophet in order to prevent him from acquiring the map of the ring. The level went through many revisions and its codename was B-30. In the scene where the Marines are listening to a song, original music by Bungie is used, but this was not always the case. Painted Black by Rolling Stones was intended for this segment. Cortana was written with a British accent in mind, hence why she uses different sayings in the demo. A trusty AI went rogue and attempted to take control of the Halo array in a discarded script. The Seraph ship was an old concept for a Covenant tank, and the Scarab debuted in this game instead of the sequel. Now let's talk a little bit about the differences in the early version of the game. Now, as stated previously, the beginning stages of Halo series was going to be an RTS. Some of the known elements of the earlier renditions of the game included a Heavy Trooper, which was an infantry unit in early iterations of the Spartan 2s, a toolbar used to select commands, Ground Blast, which is unknown currently, a tank known as the Zetsu, various bunker structures, a scout car also known as the Hummer, which was the early version of the Warthog, an additional tank known as the Horseshoe Crab tank, a tank from the opposing force known as the Alien tank, a howitzer cannon by the name of the Mauritzer, a precursor to the Covenant which was just known as Aliens, along with their aerial vehicle which was called the Starfighters, earlier iterations of the Ghost, a large array of several vehicles that never made it to the final game, and the Elephant precursor. Now, alongside this, there were also several renditions of early gun concepts in the game. These included a spear gun, which was a gun that was meant to shoot underwater enemies, a Gatling gun, a flamethrower, a submachine gun which was later introduced in Halo 2, an anti-aircraft missile launcher which had a spiritual successor in the form of the missile pod, and an anti-armor rocket launcher which saw use in the other Halo games through heavy changes. The Alien Covenant also had another form of the energy sword known as the machete, and another variant of the Covenant sniper rifle. Now, one of the more interesting things that we found was a creature known as the Blind Wolf, which was to be a rideable creature found in the pre-production of the game. Now, among other things were early versions of the Spartans, the Elites, the Covenants, and the old HUD that was used in the pre-beta of the game. Now, Halo Combat Evolved was released in North America simultaneously with the Xbox on November 15, 2001. and the rest was pretty much history. Halo remains a strong contender in the Xbox platform, and it isn't likely that it will be going anywhere anytime soon. And that is what we know of the beta of Halo Combat Evolved. Thank you guys for watching. Check out some of our other videos if you'd like, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter or give us any suggestions for any other videos. And I'll catch you all next time.